How many chocolate-covered strawberries can one dad eat? Let's find out. All right, 250 strawberries. Do you think I can even eat all these, kids?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, all right, I've got support. All right, we're gonna count down from 250. Ready? Just kidding. We're gonna count down from 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, let's eat.
Me too.
No, just me. You already had yours. Hey, Chew Crew. We are back in the Fortress of Solitude to do another in-home challenge, and this one is extra special and extra sweet. We are celebrating our first 250 subscribers to the crew. So a huge thank you to everyone that's come along on this cute, chaotic, and calorie-filled adventure. We love making this content, and we love sharing all these wonderful memories with all of you. What better way to celebrate and recognize the first 250 members of the crew than with one of the most decadent challenges I could think of. 250 chocolate-covered strawberries. This is either going to be a sweet victory or, well, it's still going to be sweet defeat. But we're going to try to eat 250 chocolate-covered strawberries. We've got vanilla and chocolate and a combination of the two. I'm going to try to do it in one sitting. We'll see how it goes. Think I can do it? Maybe. Weighing out all of the toppings and the strawberries themselves, we're talking about almost 6 pounds of fruit and another 1.5 pounds of chocolate and vanilla drizzle. So this is not just a challenge, it's a mountain of sweetness. And that was my biggest concern about it, was not necessarily the weight. The volume's usually where I get hung up, as you may remember from the rice cake challenge, but also the flavor fatigue from all this sweetness. I usually like to say I've got a whole mouthful of sweet tooths, but after eating this much sweetness, just from the fruit itself and also the toppings, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to handle this much decadence in one sitting. One sweetness that I can never get enough of is my daughter Amelia. I got to give her a shout out, as she was my decorating assistant, hype girl, and honestly, she's been my MVP when it comes to sweet challenges. Definitely my go-to partner for dessert battles. She's teamed up with me on challenges like the Tootsie Takedown over in Iowa and the Corner House Pig Splatter Challenge in Michigan. So she definitely knows her way around sugar. She helped dip, drizzle, and dress these strawberries. We had chocolate going everywhere. She had some sprinkles flying when she decorated her strawberries. Our kitchen looked like Willy Wonka had a food fight. Coming up on around 3 minutes into this challenge, I had about 40 to 50 strawberries down, and it was just as decadent as I expected. I didn't just get chocolate, just get strawberry. I got that initial juicy burst of fruit and then that rich chocolatey goodness. The problem though is it's not like eating fries or pizza. Those have their own challenges, like the fat content, the greasiness, all that cheese. For strawberries, this is a fiber bomb. I ran the numbers and this challenge clocks in at 90 to 100 grams of fiber. So to put that in perspective, the average American only eats 15 to 18 grams of fiber a day, which is well below the recommended intake. Men, usually it's like 30 to 40 grams a day is recommended. Women, closer to 20 to 25. So for this challenge, I'm eating for 6 average fiber consuming Americans today. I may be counting my chickens well before they hatch, but I've got a big question for you. What should the next milestone challenge look like? Should we double down on sweet? Maybe switch it up to savory? Either way, we've got our sights set on 500 subscribers. Drop your vote in the comments below. Sweet or savory for 500 subs? If you have any ideas on what I should try to eat 500 of, let me know. Now, while I'm plowing through these scrumptious strawberries, let me give you a preview of what's coming up next. Henry's Cub Scout popcorn fundraiser is in full swing, and I thought, why not turn it into a challenge? Instead of just selling popcorn, I'm going to eat an entire box of it. That's right, buttery, crunchy, pop till you drop goodness. The whole deal, one massive Cub Scout popcorn box, gone in a single sitting. It's going to test both my jaw and my sanity, but hey, it's all for a good cause, and you better believe Henry's going to be cheering me on to see if I can pull it off. Hello, good sir.
Would you like to support my Cub Scout adventures?
I sure would. What kind of adventures do you go on with the Cub Scouts?
Archery, slingshot, BB gun, fishing, and camping.
Wow, that is quite a lot of things that these popcorn sales support. Now, I like to eat a lot of food. Which popcorns would you recommend for someone that likes to eat a lot?
This one or this one?
It says 12 bags. How much popcorn is 12 bags? This much popcorn. So make sure to have your notifications on, subscribe if you haven't already, because next week's challenge is going to be corny. For being a light, delicious fruit, you don't realize how heavy strawberries get until you've eaten, let's say about 175 of them. That's when it really hit me. My stomach was saying, no more please. But I was saying in my brain, you've got about 75 subscribers left to honor, so keep chewing. And I'll be honest, when I go through these food challenges, there's always a moment where I'm questioning my life decisions. For burgers or barbecue, it's usually the meat wall or the meat sweats. For pizza, it's that cheese brick. For today's strawberries, it was the fiber overload, the flavor fatigue, and the sheer sweetness. But here's the thing, I love these challenges not just because of the food, but because of what they represent, especially this one. Every strawberry here is a thank you to the 250 of you who've subscribed, cheered me on, and watched me power through insane plates of food. You're part of the Chew Crew, and this giant sheet of strawberries is for you. Fortunately, going into this challenge, I did a little bit of planning to minimize the flavor fatigue. I wanted to start with the rich chocolatey drizzle. I figured that would be the tastiest but also the heaviest, so I wanted to get through those ones first. I wanted to lighten things up a little bit by switching to just a vanilla for I think numbers 60 through 120. And then just to keep my taste buds going, I decided to mix it up and do half chocolate, half vanilla. There were a few other toppings and add-ons I was considering doing: caramel drizzle, whipped cream, crushed peanuts, things that were both going to be different textures and different flavors, but ultimately I wanted to keep it simple, and I knew with this challenge already clocking in at around 7.5 pounds, I wasn't sure if I'd even be able to eat all those additional toppings. One other trick up my sleeve I used to battle some of the flavor and texture fatigue for this challenge was using two different strawberries. I'd say probably close to 175 of these strawberries were, I'd say, mass farmed and sold through a very well-known major grocery store. The remainder of them were produced at a much smaller scale from my favorite and only sister. So thank you, Rachel, for all of those strawberries. Those ones I noticed were a lot smaller than the mass farmed ones, but they were much sweeter and they had a much firmer flesh to them, which gave me that extra pop of sweetness. Not that I necessarily needed it after the first couple hundred strawberries, but the texture difference was really nice. It was a little bit more jaw work, but just that little bit of difference in resistance during the bite, it kept things interesting enough to where the flavor fatigue and the texture fatigue was a little less difficult. I'll say this too, there's something kind of symbolic about strawberries. They're sweet, they're bright, they're colorful, and they take a little effort to make special. Kind of like this channel, each video we make takes some planning, some decorating, some crazy eating, and a whole lot of fun. And when it all comes together, it's something worth sharing.
Uh, 247 strawberries. I think this was a 13 by 19 grid. So. Let's get these last 3 down. I saved the last 3 for each one of my 3 cute and chaotic kids. Henry. Amelia. And Sophia. 1044. 250 strawberries. Just over 6 pounds of fruit. I think about 1.5 pounds of chocolate sauce and vanilla sauce. It feels like it. Oh. Whew. Okay, got my servings of fruit in for the day. So again, thank you for the first 250 of you slightly unhinged people that find entertainment in this chaos that is my insane and absolutely wonderful life. We're super happy to have you along for the ride. Here's to the next 250. If you like other sweet challenges, I've got one here and another one right here. We've got plenty more coming, so thank you to everyone that's been supporting us on this awesome journey. We love having you as part of our crew. Until next time, stay hungry.